Hey everyone, welcome in. Let's see here. How is everyone doing today? We're doing past life readings tonight. Go ahead and drop your question for spirit in the live chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hi, Maria. Welcome, welcome. Please let me know your past life reading questions in the live chat. I just need your first name and your questions. I'm going to go in order with who it comes in first. Please let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. We have Vanilla and Pie. Looks like Maria's first here. Okay, please give this video a like and thumbs up. Welcome, welcome. Today is past life readings. So tonight I'm offering past life readings. So this would be connecting with your Akashic guide. All of us have 5 guides to angels, if not more. And one of your guides is part of your spiritual team is an Akashic guide. Okay, so this is one of the guides I help my students to connect with so that they're able to find out their own past life information. And also, this is important for healers to know how to connect with the Akashic records so that way we as healers can help others to resolve past life influences to blockages in our present reality. So, past life is incredibly important to understand and discern because a lot of times the blockages in our lives can stem from past life issues. Basically, in the earth classroom, you have to graduate from each lesson. You have to accomplish what you've come to do, and it's on a timeline. And so, if we tend to backtrack in life, we don't accomplish what we've come here to do, we aren't learning the lessons. Usually, the universe will show up with some sort of illness to disrupt and dismantle a bloodline. Blockages, you're not going anywhere. Take a step back, doors closed, you go backwards. The universe will realign your life so that you are growing in consciousness and evolving and coming to earth to do what you've come to do. So, one of the modalities of healing that I'm studying is past life regression, clinical hypnotherapy. In this modality of healing, you are brought into a trance-like state and you're able to regress. You're able to go to past lives and see what is the more recent past life or the most relevant past life to the blockages that you're trying to transcend in your current life. Um, there's also lives in between lives that is of significance to what we're going through in our current reality. So you really want to bank on your Akashic guide if you are struggling. You have to be able to discern, is this something in my present day I need to work through? Is there something I need to just wrap up? Do I need to transcend and transmute karmic debts? Do I need to let this go? Why am I always drawn to this location? Why am I always stuck on this person? These are the questions you are wanting to get with your Akashic record guide to dive into to find out so that you can move forward. Okay, so that's kind of basic past life understanding. Get with your Akasha guide whenever you feel stuck, whenever you need to go higher in your awareness. We're going to go ahead and dive into some past life questions here today. So let's see what we've got going on. So the first question we have is from Maria. I'd like to know about my past life with Philip. We had a very intense connection in this life. Can you tell me something about our past life together? Maria and Philip. Okay, Maria. So one of the things I have coming through for you regarding you and Philip is there was this almost like I'm going to a past life. I want to say this is a recent timeline. I'm going into, I want to say like the 1950s. I do feel like I'm in America. I do feel like the roles were switched between masculine and feminine, meaning I do feel that you were the masculine in this dynamic and he was the feminine. And it was almost like the polar opposites of what's going on now, to where we see you two going through lives together, potentially several, where it's not a relationship that is giving. It is a relationship that's more parasitic in a sense. It's like I could see that you guys are kind of going back and forth and taking from one another from lives after life after life. And this is affecting, I would say, food, diet, nutrition, eating, as well as in the current life for you, spending expenses. So if you're feeling like everything's always dried up financially whenever he's around, this could also be influencing it. Whenever you, or if you're also dealing with things around your diet, nutrition, food, eating, this could even be like feeling confident or worried about the way you look or worried about the way you eat, especially when his energy is around. This is something from a past life we want to resolve. So the first thing we want to do is end the parasitic like relationship. What does this mean for you? This is between you and spirit. This could be cutting cords, never talking again. This could be dissolving that karmic contract and working through things. It would take both parties to do that, but there has to be some sort of awareness around expenses and the way that you are feeling around buying things, the way that you're budgeting, the way that you're looking at money. All of these beliefs may be influenced from Philip in this life. And so be sure to make sure that you are subconsciously clearing that and rewriting your own understanding of giving and taking of money and finances, as well as still that emphasis around your food, your diet, what you're intaking. Um, Owning your own truth with how you feel about yourself, as well as how you nourish yourself. Thank you. Please let us know if that makes sense to you. Um, yes, I do feel like I was a man in the last life. Oh my God, yes, I do feel like I spent a lot of money, never felt pretty enough, felt like he was a woman with very dark hair. He was a very pretty woman, and I was so in love with her. That's crazy. Okay, thank you so much for letting us know that. Yeah, I definitely saw the roles reversed, and it was like polar opposites of what's happening now. So, what did I mention? Root chakra is being influenced by this relationship, as well as solar plexus. Those two chakras, you want to remove the blockages. And that could also guide you and show you with how to handle the relationship moving forward. So, get with your Akashic guide on that. Thank you so much for sharing. So, we have, let's see here, vanilla and pie. May I know what was the career financial blockages in my past life? So in this life, I can open up a new creative door with following my passion and purpose. Yes, I just need your first name. Then we have culture envy. Hi, everyone. Wondering if I could join the list. Yes. So I just need your question for spirit and your first name. Okay, so we have K here. Now, I do want to also explain if you've ever gotten a reading with me, I always break the ice with an introduction. That's how I read. I let you know how I'm reading, what I'm doing. So, with Akashic guides, I tend to trance. I tend to trance with Akashic guides and angels, which is where it's like I'm kind of staring and focusing. Um, I think with Akashic guides, because there's so much like timeline traveling, and then with angels, usually they're actually within me, speaking through me. So it's a form of possession. But so just letting you guys know how that works. A lot of times we freak out when we think of it, but possession is part of human nature. It's mainly a lot of times negative, but it can be positive. Like if your angels channel through you, it's positive. If you have clear cognizance, this is positive. It's seen as a gift. It's seen as like something bestowed by God, an anointing, where the universe, the angels, the higher up are literally channeling through you and you don't remember afterwards. So people that are messengers, people that are healers, doctors, nurses, they tend to have the claircognizance, firefighters. So with Akashic guides, it's very similar, but it's more so I've realized that I'm time traveling a bit. So Kay wants to know what was the career and financial blockages in my past life so that I can open up new creative doors with following my passion and purpose. Kay. Okay, so Kay, for you, I'm shown, I want to say two different timelines for you. One, there was a struggle around, I see you as a little boy. I want to say the 1700s. And they're showing me almost like you were in a middle class at that time, so socioeconomic, and you were in early education. And so this was like the early grade schools for you, early lessons where it's almost like time was cut short or you were not taught properly through like having disabilities and like developmental disabilities. And so there may be fears in this life of not having the proper resources. It feels like in this life there's a fear that's draining your resources. I want to explain a little bit further. So blockages with teachers, mentors, education, having the resources such as knowledge. Then there's this other past life where you lived in the tundra and there was a fear of seasons. So I see like heavy snowfall where it was super, super cold. I do see you as a woman, very long hair, potentially an indigenous North American continent. And it was like there was this like kind of hoarding of resources, hoarding of food, making sure I have enough so that when the season comes, it doesn't dry up or we don't have enough food. So we have enough to barter, so we have enough to trade. And so in this life, there may be a literal fear of not having enough, not being a good enough. And then when we get a lot, it's almost like I spend it quickly, I drain it. This could be monetary, financial, but also like knowledge is what's coming through with like the education. So, it's like maybe when a teacher comes to you, I maybe because of my own fear, I'm sabotaging it in some way, or I don't trust others to give me financial decisions. So this could be like fear of a financial advisor. Like I question them. I don't really trust them. And so in this life, I think for you, it's going to be really important that you have a bank, something you can bank on, like not a bank, we all have banks, but like a savings bank, like a pile, a stockpile for you, a resource, a savings account, investments, so that you can relax and then go towards the direction of relief. There does feel like I need to accomplish something with education. I need to train more. I need to understand really how to utilize somebody teaching me. So I've always been in this leadership position and I kind of have a fear of authority. So if we can kind of work through those in terms of your relationships with work partnerships, I think you're going to have a lot of success. So make sure we have a stockpile in a sense. Be mindful with me taking just a little bit, not the whole thing, not overindulgence, just a little bit, just what I need, and I have enough for a rainy day. And combating the fear that you're going to be drained, siphoned, attacked, and that you really just can't trust people. Once you can let that wall down, I think you'll finally know and realize you are enough, you've had enough, and you are capable. And Spirit saying that through these past lives for you, I feel a lot of feminine energy from past lives. You have to remember that you've come here to really grow through darkness. Thank you, Kay. So let's see here. I was a premature baby, used to teach. Yes, fear, anxiety, and not good enough. True. Don't trust easily. Really interesting. Really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's see who's next. Thank you. I will work on it. You're welcome. And so then we have, hey, Melissa in New Zealand. Hey, Melissa. And then we have D. Okay, so we have D here. I'm wondering if past life blockages in love are causing me to be so socially and romantically isolated in this life. Okay, D, past life regarding love and romance. Okay, so I am going back to a past life. They're showing me one where I believe you were an African American woman that was escaping slavery from the South to the North. And this was a very, very difficult journey for you to escape slavery into freedom. And I saw you saying, like, I don't trust, I do not trust, I do not trust. And I think that this has manifested potentially into fears of relationships and trust issues with people today. Very, good reason to after what you endured, and it was like I had a very open heart, and I had to learn a very difficult way that people are not really having my best interest at heart. And so there's this huge development of discerning energy and reading people that you acquired from this life. Interestingly enough, you, I feel, escaped to the north. I want to say closer to like where it would be like Canada, New York, and you learned to read and write. And there was a white man that was teaching you this and may have helped you get into a sense of like college or learning or education. But this man would turned out to be an abuser. And I do also feel like there was some sort of bond or accord to being a servant in a way. Even escaping freedom, you still were tied to these abusers. And so moving forward in this life, there's remnants of that people are, in a sense, untrustworthy. People are not really with your best interest at heart. And so it almost like feels like I have a fear that people are going to use me. So the healing message and moving forward in this life for love, for romance, is going to be literally just cutting cords, dissolving karmic fears around fake friends, people that are going to use me, people that are going to, it's almost like want me, but not honor me. There has to be some sort of resolution with boundaries, with people, with relationships, letting go of anyone that is in your life currently that is just, this person's iffy. They are fake. I can read right through them. I do not trust this. Learning to trust yourself, learning that, yes, you are actually picking this up. Or is this a part of you that's really just, it's time from a past life, the fear from this person didn't do anything to me. It's just me. The more discerned we become in this, cutting the people off that need to be, this is really going to propel you forward with bringing in people that are more in alignment with you, more genuine, more authentic, and authentically love you. And that helps you to put your wall on your heart down, which ultimately opens up more aligned love for you, finding that we can trust people again, finding that we can have people that are good souls, good-hearted people that are in my life. Thank you. Okay. So Dee says, wow, thank you. You're welcome. So this resonates 100% with what I experience in work and school. Really? So, rewiring the brain, I was just telling a client this, I think today. As an adult, well, as a child, where our brains are in theta brain state until we're like about 7 years old. Guys, I'm a hot mess today. I've been going back to back, so bear with me. It's late in Texas, almost 8 p.m. So, in when we're children, we're in theta brain state until we're about 7 years old, and this is where we become entrained, programmed in our subconscious mind that leads our physical reality. Subconscious mind is producing everything in our reality. So as adults, we're not in theta brain state. So one of the things we do to train ourselves or reprogram our mind is repetition. For example, if you were to learn to drive at 18, you may not be the best at 18, but 5 years later, you do it every day, you're good at it, you're a good driver. So that's how the brain rewires itself. So I recommend hypnosis is one of the most powerful ways to retrain your mind, your subconscious mind. Specifically in this regard, it could be past life regression. I will be offering these soon, not right now, but soon. You can find someone that can do it locally or virtually. You can sit with your Akashic guide and ask for resolution. And you can also record yourself on your phone, affirmations, mantras, and replay it right when you wake up. Your brain will be in a very similar state here to the programming that happens as a child, the theta brain state, and before you go to bed. So, kind of like when you're drifting off to bed, and also as you wake up, reinforcing your mantras, your affirmations. There's plenty of hypnosis also online on YouTube you can listen to, but I recommend recording your own voice and doing it. Something else that I do, and a client today told me that I should start a workshop. So you guys let me know whenever you're watching this if you would join like a live YouTube workshop on how to do a vision board. I take my vision boards to the next level in a hypnotic way, and I will make a presentation of images on Canva, and I also add music to it. So if you can do a visual and sound, it really helps to reprogram your mind. So make a vision board digitally, add some music to it. First thing you do when you wake up, I know we don't grab our phones right away. That may not be the best thing, but if you do anyways, it might as well be something that can really help you. Um, and then just pick up your phone first thing while you're in that kind of half asleep, half awake state. Watch your vision board, listen to the sound, and then get up. And then do it before you go to bed too. And you will rewire your subconscious brain. So with past life, it's intense. It feels like we can never fix this part of ourselves. It's called a chironic wound, and it should match your natal chart. So I do natal chart readings intuitively. No, I'm not an astrologer, so I always ask for like your birth date before because I prepare for it as I'm self-teaching myself astrology. Then I intuitively read. So it's something I do offer if you're interested. It's part of my journey with JoJo because I feel it's so important that you know your natal chart, because knowing thyself is key to like everything in life. It's when you awaken, you start there. So I got fascinating. I'm really curious about hypnosis. I find the online hypnosis sessions really difficult. So you just keep at it until you're able to focus and let go, drift off, which is really, it can be really hard. I physically tried hypnosis with a healer on driving and it didn't work for me. I actually created a vision board using Canva. I will try that technique too. So I remember my dad telling me, he was like, I don't think I can be hypnotized. And I'm like, everybody is hypnotized. Like, it's not a good, people like will say it, it's like, I can't be hypnotized. No, we all can. And we are, let's be real. We are we're programmed from our mother's wombs. But if we're going through hypnosis and we feel like it's not working, there's usually a resistance there. There's usually a blockage to the ability to get into the brain state to allow the hypnosis to take place. So if you are going through sessions, you may want to find a different practitioner or fall asleep listening to the hypnosis. Just let go. And as you fall asleep, as you're sleeping in that brain state, you're just you're tuning your mind. You're reprogramming. You don't have to even be physically present, which is right. So I hypnotized myself. I started hypnosis when I was going through my awakening. I tried all types of doctors. I needed all types of help. I was depressed, anxiety, hormone imbalances. I had a horrible ovarian cyst on my right side. And so I tried everything, traditional medicine, and also I started getting into hypnosis. So the hypnotist that I saw, she's pretty well known. She's in Buffalo, New York, and works with like the Buffalo Bills. I'm from Western New York, if you guys didn't know. A lot of hypnotists work with athletes to help improve like performance. I was like, what somebody shared it in here that it didn't really work. That was kind of me. I think the the thing I was getting hypnotized was so that I stopped smoking weed. I think that was an issue at the time for me, and I just couldn't let it go. And I smoked weed for years afterwards, years. Um, so I was like, it doesn't really work, but I knew it was. So I was able to, I stopped smoking cigarettes around that time. Ironically, I put down cigarettes, so it did work in a regard. And then I would say it still did actually help me to stop smoking weed eventually when I was just ready. So it opened the door to me kind of learning how to hypnotize myself for other things. And that's when I found like the most success was just doing it myself. I also like hypnosis for spirit release therapy. I was just talking to someone about this today. So, spirit attachments are so common. If you have blockages in your life, clear spiritual attachments. I think I already said it on this call, like possession, spiritual attachments. It's like an everyday cold, that people pick it up, release it throughout lives and life. And so if you're going through a period of like depression, you're more prone to spiritual attachment. So you lose somebody you love. If you're a healer, you might close down business. Like me, my business will slow down when I'm really depressed or going through something tragic because by laws of the universe, you will start to attract negative entities. So um, using hypnotherapy to get yourself into a state of relaxation, you can scan your body a lot easier for spiritual attachments, looking for twitching, pain, tingling, and begin to have a conversation with your attachments and release them. In order to release spiritual attachments, you're raising your frequency and you're understanding the event, trauma, or root feeling of why the attachment began in the first place. And that's it. So, hypnosis is super powerful for spirit release therapy, and it's clinically studied too, which is crazy. When I studied clinical hypnotherapy for spirit release therapy, I was shocked at the research of what's actually attached to human beings and the experimentation that's happening by ETs is very real. So, thank you. I heard one stage hypnotist say that people who fall in hypnosis fastest have better imaginations. So yeah, I can't remember why, but basically, people that are able to really heal themselves well have the best imagination. So psychic surgery is actually like you're closing your eyes, you're visualizing, you're actually jumping, it's doing something called energy jumping into your human or animal that you're healing or situation. It's called energy jumping. And you are actually seeing things. But the person that can really imagine and visualize is usually going to be more of a powerful healer because that's really how psychic ability works. A lot of the time, you're imagining a lot. And that's why some people that can't tune into that, they think it's too woo woo. They will not be able to really get into their superpower. So that would make sense. So should I do this twice a day, listening to the music like at morning and before bed? I would. And are you guys interested if I do like a vision board workshop type of thing? Would you guys want me to do that? And someone asked me to do a workshop today. I'm like, okay. So yeah. And sometimes when I'm just like about to go into a nap, I'll play it. If I feel like I need to scroll on my phone, I refuse to do that sometimes. So I'll just watch that. And it kind of brings me to my phone and kind of gives me a fix a little bit. Totally okay. Any other past life reading questions? So yeah, for me, I have vivid dreams 95% of the time, and it comes true. People get spooked about it. Yes. Yeah, sure. Mhm. So that you're very psychic then. You have a very strong psychic ability. So psychic ability is a form of intelligence, and we all have it. It's connected to the brain gut system. And then we can go up in intelligence and you have mediumship ability. And then you go up in intelligence, you have empathic ability. And so empathic ability is one of the most powerful forms of intelligence, one of the most powerful energy manipulators, actually, through empathy. So we're almost at 8 o'clock here. Oh my goodness. Does anyone have any other past life reading questions? That's why people gravitate towards me so much. Because you're an empath. So empaths, like, we will attract people that want to tell us their whole life stories. We naturally attract sociopaths and narcissists a lot. That sucks. And we are mirrors. And that's probably for me. I have a video on YouTube on empathic mirroring because I think it can be very dangerous, especially in Western society and Western medicine that doesn't talk about like the dangers of empathic mirroring. I'll give you an example. So, me as a medical intuitive, me having that medical intuitive ability, I mean, we all can tap into it. If I'm feeling in my body back pain that's not even mine, that can be very dangerous if you don't know how to discern it and just take that out right away and not absorb it. You could then go on pain pills. You could then, spiral out, have to call out of work, go see doctors, get all of these scans, go into debt trying to figure out what's going on with you. And it's not even your own energy. So, empathic mirroring, obviously, if you're an empath and you can feel what someone else is feeling, you can really connect with them. You can love them. You can feel for them. But there's a complete opposite flip side to it in that you could be picking up someone else's illness, feelings, thoughts, and think it's your own, and then feel like you're in a disease or spiraling out and it's not even your own energy. Okay, Lord. I started to learn more about the mirrors. Yes, I took on other people's energy. And the more awareness you have about your abilities, the better off you are. And it takes like any other skill or muscle, like you train it, you keep with repetition, and you get better at it. I also use psychic mirrors as a defense tool too. Sometimes you have to. So it's not a good thing. I definitely need to cleanse more often. My main thing is to set boundaries. Yeah, you have to cleanse every day. Every day. It's a necessity, especially if you're empathic and you have to expand your aura daily as a shield, and you have to 1000% set boundaries with text messages, emails, calling, who's contacting you, who you're courted to. It is a responsibility. And I think that's why a lot of people will just disregard their abilities or they don't want to learn, because it's like there's this like myth of like, don't open your third eye. It's dark on the other side. And to me, it's just like, don't see, don't see. Because there can be potential war on earth. It just doesn't make any sense. The more you can see, the more aware you are, the more you can protect yourself. A lot of times people that are very, 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 very fear-based it can be cleared with clarity. When I don't know something, I feel a little bit scared. I feel worried, but the more you know, the more you're, I'm good. Like, When I first got into spirituality, I was so afraid that everybody was going to attack me and that they were going to put these hexes on me and put these curses on me. And I had clients that would leave me horrible reviews and tell me I should die and I'm going to burn in hell, blah, blah, blah. And it got to me because I wasn't experienced enough to know that, like, nobody's spell or hex or curse can affect you unless you allow it to, unless you get in, let it get to you. And I had to find that out the hard way of, like, being scared and running. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, and some of the most powerful witches that are public, like celebrity witches, if you've ever seen powerful witches talk, they'll tell you that their curses work all the time, except for those that know who they are. Except for on those that know who they are. And then that's the powerful one. You know who you are, you know. Lots of facts in here. Yes, our mind creates reality. 1000% subconscious mind does. So mentalism is one of the most powerful forms of witchcraft, prayer, manifestation you can get into. Mentalism. Let it be your law. Let it be your religion, because you don't need the spells. You don't need anything. You close your eyes and you manifest. You create. And that's for manifestation of healing, the things we need in life, whatever. We have a Mercury Kazemi this on the 7th, which is going to be positive. So this retrograde, I'm already hearing from a lot of people. I know that the post shadow of this retrograde was intense for me. So here I'm looking for my hearts. So I'll wrap this message up about retrograde. So on February 11th, we started the pre-shadow phase of retrograde. Mercury retrograde started the first week in March here, and we have a Mercury Kazemi on the 7th. The retrograde will end on the 20th, and the post shadow ends on April 9th. So basically, anything from the 11th to the first week in March more likely won't stick. Mercury retrograde is not actually moving backwards. It's an illusion. Like, is if you were looking like on a hot day, it looks like the pavement's moving, and it's not really, it's an illusion. So the energy isn't coming up to, like, scare you, but it is trickster energy, but to bring you into a higher alignment. So, traditionally, this isn't a time to really sign things or start things new. If you can, try to hold out. The 7th, though, would be a good time to potentially sign things with the luck of the Cassini. It's a good time also to play lottery tickets, and that'll be heightened also based on your sign. So sit tight, observe, let the universe do its thing. Things are unfolding. It feels like you may have taken a few steps back, but what's the lesson in it? Learn, like, why did I take a step back so that I don't keep doing this? And then finally begin to potentially start moving forward on the 20th. If you're really, in alignment with what I'm talking about, the retrogrades, you don't really, really want to move forward, because until April 9th, everything will be worked out by then. The money will be there. The opportunity will be there. The reason why it didn't work out or you went backwards will be revealed. And I think geopolitically also, I was always predicting, like, lately I've been saying for a while now, I'll know if I need to get dual citizenship in America by the end of March and April. And as we're starting to kind of see everything geopolitically, people that are not really tuned into prophecy may see what I'm talking about now. So let things work themselves out. Let the universe do its thing. Be very observant. Learn the lessons, and Be ready to finally move forward with what you gained from this retrograde. And that's what I got for you guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. All right, guys. So I'll see you on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central. Thank you so much for being here. And let me know in the comments after the fact of any other type of shows that you guys would like me to do. Okay? Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thanks again for the reading. This message on retrograde really hit. It's been a rough few weeks. Alrighty, blessings. Bye, everyone. You're welcome. Hang in there, everyone.